The Hoenn Tour is going down in Pokemon Go, so I'm going to give you the top tips to help you guys max out on this event in Pokemon Go so you know what time it is. Welcome to Trader Club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let's jump right into the top tips for the Hoenn Tour Global in Pokemon Go. I want to make sure you guys are ready, prepared for everything that's going on. So this is going down on Saturday from 10 a.m. all the way until 6 p.m., which is going to be both days. So you're going to have a grand total of 16 hours to be able to max out on this event. Are you prepared? Since this event is going to be global, you will be able to access this event from anywhere, but you are going to want to choose a very populated downtown area that has a lot of Pokestops, that also has a lot of different spawn points around the area, including gyms as well. So you're going to have to maybe travel a little bit further than what you're used to if you are playing in areas that are not optimal for this game, because you're going to have Primal raids coming in, which is going to be very important for all you guys. Number 2, there's going to be a lot of spawns going on. And number 3, Kecleon will be spawning from stops, so you're going to want to be in a place that has a lot of stops so you can search out for Kecleon, which is going to be covered in one of my tips here. Not only that, there's going to be an add-on that's going to be $4.99, which will get you the Masterwork research, which is going to lead you into Shiny Jirachi. Since I have been to the Pokemon Go Hoenn Tour, I already have this research, which is pretty cool. However, it is going to require you to catch quite a bit of Pokemon. So if you do plan to get this, please choose to get it up front. I think $5 is pretty well worth it. There's probably going to be a bunch of things going on. As of right now, there are only 2 stages that are going to be available for us. There's going to be Catch 385, Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn Pokemon, which will give you 10 candies of Rayquaza, Groudon, and Kyogre. And then in the next stage, you're going to have at least 10 best buddies and give your buddy a Poffin for 10 days in a row. And those are the only 2 out of the 6 that we do know of right now, because they are already limited based on the timing here. And with everybody's big question, what are going to be the shiny rates here? So according to Pokemon Go Hub, I have no confirmation of this internally. We have boosted shiny rates according to select species. So I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but since the event is free, here's what I'm going to suggest you guys do, is go out there and play as hard as you can. Be satisfied with catching Pokemon. Look to get XL candy, which I will cover here in a second, and then move on with things that are going to best serve your gameplay in Pokemon Go, because remember, shiny encounters, while they are very memorable, they are very desirable, they are not the reason you should play this game, because you cannot control the outcome. Things that are going to make you happy in life are things that you can control the outcome of, and playing really hard and going and giving it your best effort is something that you can, and let the rewards follow you as a bonus. So focus on the XL candy, try your hardest, and if you do want to get that shiny Jirachi guaranteed encounter, I suggest you guys pick that up. Obviously, I will be doing it. I am having a little bit of trouble finding Johto Pokemon at the moment to be able to get me past stage 1, but obviously somebody has completed it. So at the beginning of this event, we are going to have to pick Ruby or Sapphire, which we are going to check out in my tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be all about picking Sapphire or Ruby in Pokemon Go for this Hoenn Tour Global. So it's going to be a similar presence as we did talk about for the Vegas. So think about it. Do you want Sapphire, which is going to be Kyogre, or do you want Ruby, which is going to be Groudon? There are going to be spawns that are going to be associated with this as well, which include Minun, Illumise, Wailmer, Lunatone, and Rainy Castform. The Rainy Castform for me is the biggest winner in here to get for a shiny. This one will be for all those people that are completing field research tasks with the Sapphire. So if we do get surges, and they keep coming from Kyogre, like we did do in the Vegas Tour, a lot of Kyogre surges, I would highly suggest people with Kyogre surges try to back off just a little bit to allow the Groudon to come through if you do want to see those spawns. And for the Ruby, it's going to be Groudon that you're going to be fighting for, but just remember, guys, the one key thing here is that both of these primals will be spawning throughout. The main difference here of which one you're going to be choosing and going for is going to be the spawns that are associated with, number 1 for the surges, and then number 2, you will have a little bit more presence of those primal raids. So it's not going to mean that it's going to be only Groudon raids. It's not going to mean that it's going to be only Kyogre raids. That's not how it's going to go down, but it will have a little bit more favorable towards that specific Pokemon. But honestly, when I was looking around for these raids, I didn't really notice it quite that much. So it's not super significant. It's more for what the spawns are going to be from these surges. So we are going to have Plusle, Volbeat, Trapinch, Solrock, as well as Sunny Castform. And the Sunny Castform is another one that I am shooting for here. So make your choice wisely, which one you want to see a little little bit more of and which spawns you want to be more of. Just as a reminder, guys, from Vegas, it was more heavily focused on the Sapphire. So if you guys want to see a little bit more of the Ruby spawns, you may want to consider balancing it out by choosing that. But guys, I would honestly take a little bit of survey in your community and go with that and try to make sure that it's balanced overall, because beyond just that, you don't really see anything different. It's not like you're only seeing Kyogre raids or you're only seeing these wild spawns. So unless anything changes, that's how it's going to be in this global tour, which then is going to take us to tip number 2. In tip number 2, we're going to be talking about the wild spawns. The difference between the wild spawns during the global event and the Las Vegas event is the Las Vegas event are going to be fixed to a specific area. The wild spawns will be rotating on each and every hour. So every hour you will be seeing something different coming out, and that's going to be your chance and opportunity to be able to hunt. It's going to be balanced. You're forced to see these spawns, so it's very important that you do know what's going on. So let's talk about what the top spawns in each habitat are and what the coinciding megas are for this event. Let's check it out. In the Blistering Sands event, we do have Torchic, Poochyena, Lotad, Nincada, Makuhita, Nosepass, Aron, Numel, Cacnea, Baltoy, and Bagon. So if I'm looking at this spawn set in general, I love the Torchic because Mega Blaziken is an absolute beast. I absolutely love the Bagon. If we're looking at future megas and current megas, we do have the Bagon, we have the Torchic, we have the Aron, which is going into Mega Aggron, and then we have the Numel, which is going to be Mega Camerupt. Okay, so Mega Camerupt and Aggron are not meta attackers. The best part of Mega Camerupt is it's a fire and a ground type, dual type mega for Mega level 3 and extra XL candy, but beyond that, that's what it is. Meta attackers, we are definitely looking at the top and the bottom for Mega Blaziken and Mega Salamence. I love the Mega Salamence here. It's a very powerful Pokemon. It's a very powerful Shadow Pokemon, so having extra XL candy on Bagon is definitely worth your time. So for this, I would consider having some type of Dragon Mega if this is a Pokemon you're after. The Dragon Megas can include Mega Charizard X, which will combine with Fire, which would work if you do need Torchic XL candy or other Pokemon in here. You're gonna have to really break down and figure out which Pokemon you have as Mega level 3s, and then which Pokemon you're most after XL candy for. Other Pokemon would include Mega Latios, which will be Dragon and Psychic. Mega Latias, same typing. We'll also have, one of my favorites, is going to be Mega Altaria, which is a Dragon and a Fairy type Pokemon. Very effective. You can use Mega Ampharos, which is going to be Dragon and Electric. You could also use Mega Sceptile with Grass and Dragon if you're looking to get some Grass XL candy for something else. And then finally, you can use the Mega Salamence with the Flying and the Dragon type if you're looking to get additional XL candy for your Flying types. And as far as the meta PvP Pokemon, we do have Probopass in here. I would highly suggest you guys look at something low attack, high defense, and stamina. I'm not going to cover the IVs of that one because it's ranked 136 in the Great League. So although it is a tanky Pokemon, not the best Pokemon, not even in the top 100. However, this area does have the Cacnea, which is a brand new shiny, so I highly suggest you at least go to this area to grab yourself a shiny Cacnea, which then leads us to the Eerie Mists. In the Eerie Mists, we do have Ralts right off the bat. Great shiny, would pair very well with Mega Altaria to get you XL candy for Mega Gardevoir and Mega Gallade. We do have Surskit in here, which is a brand new shiny for this event. First time ever being here, so I suggest visiting this area to at least get yourself that. We have Meditite with the shiny, does eventually have a Mega Medicham, which is very cool. Not only that, it's a very relevant Pokemon for PvP. IVs are going to be 5, 15, 15 for the Medicham. At level 50, so you are still going to need 296 XL candy, and since Mega Medicham will not, I repeat, will not be a viable meta attacker, and it's going to be very good for using it for Mega XL candy at level 3. You can easily just mega your PvP statted 296 XL candy maxed out Pokemon and get best of both worlds. We also going to get Spoink in here. We have Zangoose, Seviper. We do have Chimecho. Chimecho is going to be a boosted Stardust Pokemon at 1,000 per catch. If it is windy weather, you're getting even more on a star piece. So I highly suggest you hang out in this area if there's a lot of Chimechos and you can go after it. We do have Mega Absol. That comes from the Absol that's spawning in here. Not the best and most effective Mega, but it's a desirable shiny here. We also have Snorunt, Love Disc, which everybody should have, and then we have ourselves Beldum. So here's an easy way for you guys to be able to get Bagon and Beldum candy by using a Mega level 3 Latios. The Beldum is going to be a Psychic and Steel combination, and the Bagon is a Dragon type. So that will work very well to be able to hit two very meta relevant Pokemon. Metagross will have a Mega at some point. Both are very strong shadows, and you get the best of both worlds here. Zangoose is going to be ranked 102 with 100% IVs of 0, 15, 10, and Frostlass is going to be ranked 51 in the Great League at a 0, 15, 15. 15 if you are hunting the Snorunt from the female. And Metagross is ranked 34 in the Master League, so that is all 15, 15, 15. Can multi-purpose that with the Mega as well, and use it as a Mega and not as a Mega when you're battling it in the Master League. Which then leads us into the Verdant Earth habitat. Okay, so here we go. We do have Trico, which is a very effective Mega Pokemon. We do have Zangoose, we do have Wurmple. Wurmple is a great Pokemon to be able to Pineapple whenever you see it, because it is a 12 candy per evolve and an easy Pokemon to be able to get extra candy for it and evolve it at a future Spotlight Hour with 2 times Evolve XP. Then we have Seedot, we have Shroomish, which is a boosted Stardust Pokemon. We have Slackoth. I hate Slackoth because I hate slacking being in the top of my bag. I'm considering deleting my level 40 100% IV because I just don't like how high it sits at a level 40, honestly speaking. Some of you guys may differ in opinion. We have Skitty with the shiny. We have Mawile with the shiny. The reason why I like Mawile here is because the shiny is typically behind raids or behind shadow Pokemon. It's not a typically wild spawning Pokemon. It does have in a future Mega Pokemon. It is not going to be effective for a meta attacker standpoint, but for XL Candy as a fairy and a steel type Pokemon, it will be very cool and very effective. So I highly suggest that you guys, I don't know, at least hunt this Pokemon, get the shiny. But for that reason, you don't really need XL Candy, but if you do want to XL it out, you can do it here by getting in there. We do have Electrike, Mega Manectric, strongest electric Pokemon as a Mega in the game. Roselia with the shiny. Brand new Gulpin, so do check out this habitat to get your shiny Gulpin. And then we have Swablu. Swablu goes into Altaria, which is very effective. It also has the Mega Altaria, Dragon, and Fairy, which is a very, very effective dual type combination to have at Mega level 3. The Altaria is ranked 11 in the Great League at a 0-14-15, and then ranked 88 in the Ultra League at 15-15-15, and it will be below 2500 at level 50, which you can have it at level 50 and then use that level 50 if you use it for the Ultra League as your Mega level 3 Pokemon as well. Even the Great League one can still get Mega'd. It doesn't matter about the stats because it is not a strong attacker. It is strictly for the purpose of either boosting other Pokemon in your party or getting more XL Candy. And then finally, we have the Ancient Shores. For the Ancient Shores, we have Mudkip, which is a very effective attacker. It is the Swiss Army knife of Pokemon for the water and ground type. It is extremely effective Mega Pokemon, very strong in the water category, very, very strong in the ground category, and it's great in PvP. In the Great League, it's ranked 5 at a 0-14-14. In the Ultra League, it's ranked 9 at a 0-14-13. And in the Master League, it's ranked 32, which you could multi-purpose as your Mega and being that effective because it does need 15-15-15s to be the most effective, and it's very strong as an attacker. And then we're getting onto Wingull. Wingull is actually very effective as Pelipper. It's ranked 10 in Great League at a 0-12-15, and then ranked 36 in the Ultra League at all 15s at level 50, so you will need 296 XL Candy if you're going to use that Pokemon. Very impressed by that Pokemon. And then we have Carvanha, and Carvanha is going to have Mega Sharpedo at some point. It's going to be a dark and a water type. We already have that in Gyarados. It won't be as strong, but it's going to be very cool looking, and it has a great shiny. And let's not forget about Barboach. Barboach goes into Wishcash. It's going to be a 0-14-13 on this Pokemon. Very effective, ranked 26 in the Great League. The only downside of this Pokemon, it does get Blizzard, and Blizzard does take a little bit longer to charge. And then we have Corphish. Corphish is a relatively newer and semi-rare shiny if you did not go to Sevilla, which may be worth your while here. We also do get Anorith and Lileep, Phoebus, Sveal, and Clamperl. So for this habitat in specific, there's no brand new shinies being added, and it is not quite as desirable as all the other 3 for brand new shinies being in there. So now, if we're looking for XL Candy, I highly suggest you guys consider that Mega Latios or Latias because of the Dragon combination and the Psychic combination, and that Psychic will also pair well with Ralts, which is really cool. If you're looking at more towards getting Mawile XL Candy because it's just rare, you can consider using that Mega Altaria like I talked about, or any of the Hoenn starter Mega level 3s would be effective if you're looking to get XL Candy in their typings. Mega Swampert, Mega Sceptile, and Mega Blaziken are all great dual types, but you really have to pair your typings. Which one do you want most XL Candy? I gave you some of the most effective Pokemon, and then also depending on which Pokemon you do choose, Ruby or Sapphire, you're gonna get spawns with that as well. Alrighty guys, so those are gonna be the top spawns going down, what PvPs to look for, and what the Megas are gonna be to look for. Honestly speaking, I am favoring Mega Swampert because Mega Swampert will help you get XL Candy for Groudon and Kyogre and more in between there. However, if you're not looking for XL Candy for Groudon and Swampert, I would highly consider consider doing something such as Mega Latios, which will get you the Beldum as well as the Bagon XL candy coming through here. But if there are more Pokemon in here that you are looking for XL candy and I did not cover it here, just find the typing of what you have is a Mega Level 3. If you do not know about Mega Level 3s and you have not gotten every typing in Pokemon Go to a Mega Level 3, I highly suggest you guys do though, because that creates the ability to extract more XL candy from those specific typings, and you could even switch up based on the habitats if you so desire to switch your Megas each and every hour, which would require a very conscious effort, but you could do that and match the typing that I did talk about during each and every hour in Pokemon Go, which will then lead us to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be all about the eggs going on during this event. So the one thing I do want to post out here is a PSA. So for everybody that did do the Pokemon Go Las Vegas tour and did get the Egg Enthusiast add-on, what's going down this weekend is if you did have that add-on, you will be able to have the bonus going down during this event to make up for some of the errors. We are going to talk about those errors. I have been very busy getting to Japan. I do still want to address them, and I want to make sure that it is heard and we do get on the same page as those. So that will probably be dropping this weekend, more than likely. Okay, so what the Egg Enthusiast does get you, if you did have it in Vegas, is going to be 3 times Hatch Candy, 3 times Hatch Stardust, and 1/4 egg hatch distance, and it will also get you increased 10-kilometer egg drops, and that's going to be where we do find the regionals, which are going to be Torkoal, Relicanth, as well as Tropius. So those are going to be in there. And also, I just want to give a forewarning to you guys and just make sure that we're on the same page here, is that I hatched about 120 eggs and I did not see a shiny come out of there, but I do know people that hatched a similar amount of eggs and got 4 to 5 shinies. So it's obviously the luck of the draw. Hopefully this global tour will get me a little bit more lucrative luck here, but don't hold out. And I want to remind you guys, if you're not okay hatching all these eggs and getting no shinies, do not participate in a heavy bout at this. I am just going to go after this and tell you guys. Not only that, let's get into all of the egg details right now. In 2-kilometer eggs, we're going to have Pichu, we're going to have Igglybuff, we're going to have Trico, Torchic, Mudkip, Azurill, and Wynot. So although these eggs will be hatching very fast, they are not my favorite eggs, even though there's some cool baby Pokemon in here that you could definitely hatch the shinies of. So if you do get those, obviously you're going to have to hatch through them. I would just use your regular incubators on that. In 5-kilometer eggs, you're going to be getting Surskit, Gulpin, and Cacnea. 3 brand new shinies, great potential coming from those 5-kilometer eggs. In the 7-kilometer eggs, although there is Beldum and Bagon in here, I suggest you guys don't do this because you guys are going to be seeing those spawning in the wild, as well as Trapinch and Phoebus. I am going to say no-go on the 7-kilometer eggs and probably no-go on the 5-kilometer eggs, but you can't really help that. But the 10-kilometer eggs are going to be where it's at, because that's where you will find Torkoal, Tropius, and Relicanth. And those are going to be brand new shinies. I have been told that they're only going to be coming from 10-kilometer eggs, and if you have the Egg Enthusiast bonus, you will be getting higher chances of 10-kilometer egg drops coming from this bonus. So, not only that, with that Egg Lover bonus, you guys are going to be hatching these eggs extremely fast. I am going to be going after as many 10-kilometer eggs to try to hatch these shinies as possible. But even further, guys, the 12-kilometer eggs will be your most lucrative and easiest to be able to get / hatch during this event because of the boosted rockets and the reduced incubator distance. So that, if you're looking for strictly Function of Stardust, but for this event, I am going in with Function of Stardust and I am leaving with 10-kilometer eggs as much as possible. But that's going to require you guys to have a lot of incubators to turn through a lot of eggs to be able to help capitalize. So the 100% IVs are going to be as follows. For the Torkoal, 1196 coming out of the 10. For Tropius, it will be 1109. And for Relicanth, easy to remember, 1444. So those are the eggs, which they get at least to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be all about the raid battles going down during this event, so let's check those out right now, because we do have tier 1 raids, which are going to include Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. I would highly suggest just passing on those raids, but you guys can do what you want. In the tier 5 raids, we are going to have the Deoxys. Let's check out the details of the Deoxys and which ones are going to be best. So we are going to have the Deoxys going down in raids, which is a bummer. I'm just saying. Okay, well, the shinies are out. Maybe you guys don't have the shinies. I will not be spending any raid passes on Deoxys at all. I'm so sick of Deoxys. I never want to see that again. However, Deoxys defense form will be the only Pokemon that is most effective coming through here. In the Great League, it's ranked 34 at a 10, 15, 13. And in the Ultra League, it's ranked 44 at level 49.5 at a 12, 13, 15. So you will need a ton of XL Candy to be able to get that one there at optimal IVs and optimal placing. And then finally, in tier 6, I would say, in the Mega Raids, these Pokemon are extremely strong. If you want to see my video about the counter guides, check them out up here. But guys, honestly, we're going down with a lot of players in in there, and they were still quite challenging to be able to take down. So if you think about it, these Pokemon are coming with their unique movesets, which is very cool. And Groudon will go down a little bit faster, but they are 92,000 CP for each of these Pokemon, meaning they are extremely strong and challenging to take down. So you are going to need big parties. The Primal Groudon will be double weak to water, so that's going to come to your favor. However, the Kyogre is going to be single weak to grass and electric, which does make it a little bit more challenging to be able to take it down. So I want to make sure you guys do know about that. The 100% IVs are going to be 2351. Groudon is going to get boosted in sunny weather. Kyogre is going to get boosted in rainy weather, and that's going to boost both of them to 2939 at level 25. So coincide, get out there, raid as much as possible, and it's going to be 400 primal energy to be able to take this Pokemon into a primal reversion. And additionally, from Mega 1 all the way till the next level of Mega, right off the bat, it's going to be 80 primal energy. And I suggest you guys do wait, because if you guys do have the research that comes out, which I do believe you should, which we did have, that will mean you will have to do a primal reversion during that special research. So just make sure that there isn't special research going on before you do the primal reversion, because it will cost you primal energy. And since it is limited, it's not as prevalent as are the Megas, unless they do change it, because we were in the Las Vegas tour and they changed it over. But as of right now, what I understand, this is what it is. It's a lot less than what we originally got from a lot of the Megas. So make sure to wait. If there is research, complete the research first to see if you have to do a primal reversion, so you don't have to double dip in this event. But these primal reversions are very important, which also, if you do want to see that, check that video out up here, which then leads to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is going to be talking about shiny Kecleon and the like. So for this event, Kecleon will be on stops. I highly suggest you guys do not use an auto catcher for spinning stops. Although it is very lucrative, it will scare away Kecleon. So you're not going to be able to get Kecleon if you keep using an auto catcher, which is a problem. So when talking about Kecleon, you want to tap the Kecleon on the stop to get it off and then spin it afterwards. And you want to be close enough with your inner ring while you are doing so that you can encounter Kecleon, because oftentimes with this specific scenario, what I was experiencing is if the auto catcher spun the stop, that means you're not going to get a Kecleon. If you spin the stop, chances are you might not get a Kecleon. You want to tap it off. Once it jumps off the stop, then you can spin it, get out, and then encounter that Pokemon. And it's going to be a little bit more tedious to be able to do it, but that's how you do get more Kecleon, because they will be boosted during this time. And beyond that, these Pokemon are very rare, so you want to give it your best effort to try to get the shiny. Remember, it's a blue band instead of a red band that is the shiny. And not only that, there is going to be a research encounter presentation to you guys, where you will be able to choose a path where it's going to be either Cacnea, Surskit, or Gulpin. And when you choose, you will have more of these Pokemon attracted to the incense. So whichever one in here you guys do want, please choose. I am a little bit more favorable towards the Cacnea, because I really like the way that the Cacnea looks. However, at the same time, base this around your weather conditions in your area, and when those do come out, it might boost those spawns a little bit as well. So think about it. If you do have sunny weather more often, chances are you might get a bigger boost to the Cacnea. If you do have more rainy weather, Surskit might come out during that specific hour, and then if you do have more of cloudy weather, you might experience more of Gulpins. So depending on what you want, choose wisely from and those are going to be what are going to be attracted to you. So if I would say you wanted to only see a little bit more of each of these, which one would you choose, and choose those wisely? I personally love the Cacnea. Your choice is going to be yours, but also base it on what you do see more in your area. If you see a ton of Cacnea all the time, even though the shiny rates are going to be probably normal, you still might choose that. But that's going to be totally up to you guys. That's going to be all my top tips from what I have learned from the Las Vegas Hoenn Tour and from the global tours from the past. I hope you guys enjoy. Good luck out there. I will be playing in Japan, so do expect a video on Saturday morning before your event starts, so I can help you guys with shiny rates, the event, and so forth. So I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes a support, subscription, 2x help, and see you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.